You getting it twisted, getting all jelly, cause you think I'm with them, but you know you not ready. My truth got me up at 6 a.m. Tapping in the Zoom, cause my God is the REM. Straight up, he died for me. When I pull up, I know he got me. Don't play faves, we all his queens. When they say woman, they mean God.
Hey, good people. Welcome to Determined Women of Destiny, the place where passion meets purpose, where amazing women doing amazing things come to show off everything that they do. You will be influenced and inspired, encouraged and empowered, along with a whole lot of motivation so that you can believe dreams really do come true. I'm your host, Yvonne, the Motivator Man.
Hey, good people, it's Yvonne, the Motivator Man, and welcome to season 6. She's a force! And I'm telling you, for my first show, honey, I have the dynamic duo. But first, if this is your first time with me, Determined Women of Destiny is the place where amazing women come together to do amazing things. And I love to bring you women that will motivate you, inspire you, encourage you, educate you, all of that, so that you can get up off your duff and do what you have to do. Because guess what? These women are doing it, so you can too. I have Black Girl Magic with me today from Keep Smiling Therapy. Now you're saying, Yvonne, what's Keep Smiling Therapy? It is a practice that deals with mental health. We're not taking care of ourselves, people. And we have two women that have come together that have a practice that's saying, hey, we got you. We know that the stigma of mental health in communities of color isn't a good one. So we want you to have a place where you're comfortable, where you can come and receive the services that you need. And it's just not people of color. It's all people, because everybody is welcome. We just want to make sure that the communities of color know that they have a home. So I want to welcome Chanell and Monique to the show. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. When I saw Keep Smiling Therapy on Facebook, I was clutching my décolletage. What? And it was all four of you. So I'm going to let both of you tell us what exactly you do. Chanell, can you go first?
Hi, my name is Chanell Smiley. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm the founder of Keep Smiling Therapy.
And I am Monique Jones. I am a clinical art therapist, and I have the pleasure of working with my best friend Chanell at Keep Smiling Therapy.
A lot of people don't know this, but Monique actually came up with the name Keep Smiling Therapy. My name is Chanell Smiley, so my last name is Smiley, and I was trying to play off of my name, and I remember I said, smile again, and she goes, who said they stopped smiling? And I said, oh, wow. She says, why don't we do keep smiling? So if they did stop smiling, they could smile again, right? But if they're still smiling, if they're smiling, they can keep on smiling. So she actually came up with the name. You probably remember that.
I don't remember this, but
that is wonderful.
Because people don't realize the impact they have on your life when you're just having conversations. And I was like, that's the name.
Well, I think that name is going to be very impactful to people, because people who haven't smiled in God knows how long will see Keep Smiling Therapy and say, hey, you know what? I want to go over here because I want to smile again.
Right, right.
What was the concept for opening up this practice? You being a clinical social worker, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Monique, you being an art therapist, yes.
mm-hmm.
How did you guys, besides the fact that you're best friends, come together and say, hey, you know what? This might be something. We might have something going on here that can help people and make an impact.
So prior to opening up Keep Smiling Therapy, I was a hospital administrator in an inpatient psych hospital. And I loved it because I always thought I wanted to be an administration macro, right? And all of my clients were like, well, do you have a private practice? I was like, no, I don't want to do private practice. I enjoy the 9 to 5 macro. I don't really want to do private. And people were asking me over and over and over again, do I have a private practice? And maybe this is my calling because I enjoy it, right? But I knew there was no way I can balance being a hospital administrator and also opening a private practice. So in 2019, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start part-time and open up a therapy, a mental health practice. So I spoke to Monique. At that time, you were still in school, right?
I was still in school getting my
Bachelor's.
Yeah.
She was getting her bachelor's in art. So I was talking to her. We was thinking of a name. She's always been one of my biggest supporters and encouraging me, like, you got it, you can do it. I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know. So throughout that timing, she actually graduated with her bachelor's and she found out about the art therapy program. And she called me and was like, do you know they have like a art therapy? This art therapist? I said, yeah, I work with them at the hospital. I don't know why we never discussed it before.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like, I think I can incorporate art and therapy, which is two things that I love. So that's how she ended up going on her journey. You might want to speak a little bit more on your journey.
So that was the day I had the epiphany. And I called Chanell while I was on the Long Island Railroad, and I was like, I'm about to become an art therapist. So I found a program. I went to Long Island University in Old Brookville on Long Island, graduated with my master's degree, and joined Keep Smiling a few months after that. Yeah.
So it's very interesting how we've been friends since we were 16 years old. So I've been a social worker since 2013. 2012 is when I graduated. And then Monique started her art therapist journey in 2020. 2020. So like you said, it's one of those things that I guess our journeys just collided like they always do. When I opened up Keep Smiling Therapy back in 2019, it was part-time. I was still working at the hospital and I was by myself. So I was by myself for 2 years. But I had a waiting list. And I said, I got to take a leap of faith and go full time. But it was so scary because I'm so used to the 9 to 5. I'm making good money as a hospital administrator. The idea of working for yourself and not getting a steady paycheck every Friday like scared me. Then the pandemic hit, which I know all of our lives went upside down. And at the time, and when the pandemic hit, I took a leave of absence because I have young kids and business just boomed because so many people, especially people of color, now started really acknowledging their mental illness and not realizing that depression and anxiety is a real thing. Luckily, during the time, my best friend's finishing up her degree, right? So I'm telling like, there's such a wait list. I don't know what to do. And I'm still at the hospital. And I'm like, but I really love the fact that we're working with our community and being on these journeys with my clients. Like I enjoy it. It's so rewarding and fulfilling. And finally, in November 2020, I decided to resign and go full time. During that time, Monique was still in her program, finishing up, and graduated May of 2021. And when she graduated, it was like a no-brainer. Like, so you're joining, right? You're joining? She reached out to me and
I don't remember, like 2 months after graduation. So it might have been July. Yeah,
July is when you started. She reached out to me in July and I was like, of course, why wouldn't I want to work with you? And I know how passionate she is about mental health. We've been on this journey. Like I said, we've been friends since we were 16 years old and we've been through this up and down called life.
Yeah.
So we know each other's journeys and stuff like that. And we always been invested in mental health. But back then when we were young, you didn't know it was mental health or mental illness. We didn't understand what depression or anxiety is, but we just called each other and always vented to each other and stuff. And then it's funny how life comes full circle and now we're actually being clinicians for this.
So what you used to do on the telephone with each other, you're now doing for everyone else. I got to pay the bill, so I got to go to break. This is so great. I don't want to leave, but you guys stay put. Be right back after break, and you will hear more about Keep Smiling Therapy.
Determined Women of Destiny is more than a talk show or a podcast, more than a Facebook group or TikTok videos. It's a tribe that vibes. It's a networking hub for women to funnel ideas and endeavors, to connect, helping each other be our best version of ourselves, independently and collectively. If you'd like to join this group of great women or would like to be a guest on the show, please send your information to determinedwomendestiny@gmail.com.
Welcome back. You are checking out Determined Women of Destiny. I am your host, Yvonne, the Motivator Man. If you are just now tuning in, thank you so much. I love you for your support, but you know what I say? Where was you in the beginning? All the good stuff happens there. But listen, I'm so happy that you're here now. I am with Chanell and Monique, and they are therapists at Keep Smiling Therapy. This practice, that's right, dynamic duo, Black Girl Magic, and their doors are open to everyone. But for communities of color, we know that stigma is horrible. So, ladies, please discuss with me and us about the stigma in our community. Why is it that people of color would rather be anything else than someone who has a mental illness and can get help through it? Monique?
So I feel like when I was growing up, and I'm sure there's other people that can identify, we have either family members older than us or parents who have the energy of, well, nothing's wrong with you, right? And they kind of deter you from going to seek that help, or you got to pray it away, right? Some things you can't pray away. Some things you need to talk it out. Some might need medication and talking or art therapy. But it was in my own personal journey that I experienced that. So I'm a therapist that also advocates for going to therapy myself to make sure that my cup is full so that I can continue to fill the cups of those that I'm helping. But I remember the first time I mentioned to my parent, I'm going to say my mother, that I wanted to go to therapy. And she was like, nothing's wrong with you, not crazy. And I said, no, I'm not crazy. I just need to talk about some feelings that I have that I don't know how to get out. And so kind of, I guess, a rebellious act, I went on my own therapeutic journey, and it helped, right? And I'm like, okay, this is also while I'm going to school and making the decision to then become a therapist myself. So that's why I'm very strongly supportive of people going to therapy, no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what age, what background, what ethnicity. I think therapy is definitely necessary.
Did you get the talk from your mother? Oh, you need somebody to talk to? You can talk to me. No, sis, you're the reason why I'm going to therapy.
And that is definitely a mindset in the Black community, is that you can talk to a sibling or your parent or God, right? And sometimes there's some inner feelings that you cannot share with those people.
Right.
So
sometimes you just can't get it out. You know you're feeling a certain way. You don't know why you're feeling it, and you just can't express it verbally. And then sometimes you could be ashamed, and you don't want to express it verbally to anyone. You just want to keep it inside. You know, the thing that's in houses of color and communities of color, what's in this house stays in this house. And our houses are on fire and our communities are burning to the ground because of that.
yeah.
So Chanell, you know, just jump right in. You know, what do you think is the reason for the stigma? You know, why?
I think that if we start from the beginning, we never talk about mental health and mental illness at all, right? So we don't really understand it. I think that, like, similar to Monique, I had my own therapeutic journey where I went to therapy and I didn't understand anxiety and depression because that's something that we didn't discuss, right? And the way we are, unfortunately, as a community, we're more survival. Yeah. So it's like the bills is paid, you have a roof over your head. What are you upset about? There's nothing to be upset about, right? It's kind of like, even if you go somewhere, you go, I'm depressed. Well, you're doing good in life. So what are you depressed about? So we don't know how to differentiate success and feelings. And feelings is just a conversation that we just didn't have in our community. I can say in my household, I come from a Christian background, and it's more, like you said, pray to it. Go talk to God. If I say, I feel the way, you don't believe? I do believe, and I love the Lord, but I still feel these feelings that need to get out that I can't describe. So I think the stigma is lack of education.
Okay.
You don't know. So when you think of mental illness, you automatically think, quote unquote, crazy, right? And it's like, no, you can have mental illness and still be a functioning person.
Absolutely. It was funny you were saying church because, all you hear is give it to the Lord and he'll work it out. He
He
showed
will
up
too.
as soon as you walk through that therapist door.
I always say, listen, you can love the Lord and still go to therapy.
Absolutely.
He wouldn't have given us therapy if he did not think that we needed it.
Right.
And then the old mothers is like, well, Jesus went to talk to the demoniac. And I was like, and he provided a therapy session. Read that story. Clinicians know, oh yeah, he did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, what we're taught in school.
Right.
Ask them what's going on.
Right.
Ask how you feeling, and then discuss how we gonna work on it.
Right.
That's it. That's a service progress note right there. And I think that we always like to put everything on everybody else instead of just taking control and saying, I want to do something for me so that I feel better. Because I really believe that humans aren't programmed to do stuff for themselves so they feel better. That's why the self-help is so big.
Yeah, so big
And
now.
the self-care is so big now. And I'm like, y'all should have been helping and caring for yourself this whole time.
I think
But
also,
that?
I think also we have to get comfortable with saying we're not okay. Right. So I tell people, don't ask me how am I doing, because if I'm not okay, I'm gonna tell you I'm not good. I'm not gonna say, good, how are you? I'm not good. It's a lot going on right now. But as a community, it's always, we're good, I'm good. So we present well too as a community. We know how to present well. We know how to wear our Sunday best and look appropriate, but are you okay? Has anybody asked you, are you okay? So I think that's definitely coming up in the last couple of years, people actually saying, I'm not okay, I do need help. And I'm glad that these conversations are now coming, because growing up, I don't know if anybody asked me, was I okay? And to be honest, if they did, I probably would have said, yeah, I'm fine.
Right, because what am I supposed to say? Because what stays in this house, what happens in the house stays in this house, and I can't say anything. And that house isn't always the four walls. That house is here and here, and it has to stay in there. It can't come out because somebody may think of me, a certain way. But I like what you said. We never ask, are you okay? And I would like to start in October. Everyone who's listening to me, male, female, please, at least once a week, ask somebody, are you okay? And stand there, wait for the answer and listen. Because you never know, you could be saving somebody's life by that one term, are you okay? Absolutely not. And I need help. Okay, let's go get it. Let's go get that help. And your practice being that it is a practice of young women under the age of 40.
Yes.
Blah. Y'all is beautiful. It's gorgeous. And you're offering all that you've studied to make sure that not only other people of color, but everyone has a chance to be mentally healthy.
Yes.
So have you come up against any type of adverse conversations, or well, does your practice help anybody else other than, or do you just help women, or do you help men? Because it's two of you. So the first thing men will say, oh yeah, it's woman power and you're not having any male clients, right? And you're probably sitting there saying, bruh, what's your insurance?
Right.
Day and time.
Right. The practice is very diverse. We see children starting at 6 all the way in
all the way up.
We do couples therapy, we do art therapy, we do play therapy, we do cognitive behavioral therapy, we do motivational interviewing. You name it, we pretty much do it. We see men clients. I actually love my men clients too, because they actually are more open. They come in guarded at first, but I guess because men have this identity that they have to present, and then when they realize it's a safe space and they're not being judged, they just let all out. And they're like, oh, I love this. I got to come back next week. I specialize in couples therapy. And yeah, we see everybody.
Yeah, I have male clients that are teenagers, that are grown men. So if you offer it, and they feel like it's a place where they can be heard
Yes.
as men and supported,
Right.
they're open to the process. From experience, I know men walk into therapy with the idea that this is a setup or that they're going to be judged, right? So they're like, I'm not even going to open that door because it's going to bring all this unwanted stuff. But if you immediately from jump deteriorate that motive or like that idea, then they're just as open as the woman to talk and share about their emotions.
I think the beautiful thing about being people of color and helping people with colors, we understand the culture too. I think that's very important, is understand the culture, even with our teenagers. When some, unfortunately, the celebrities have transitioned and stuff, we understood because we're still not that old as well, and we're able to connect with them on a different level. So I think it's very important for clinicians of color to just be present and be around.
Okay. Well, I got to go to break again, but I want all of you to sit tight because when we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about what art therapy is and how to contact Keep Smiling Therapy. So you guys make sure you come right back.
Determined Women of Destiny.
And thank you. You are back. If you're joining me, I'm Yvonne, the Motivator Man. You're checking out Determined Women of Destiny. I've been chatting it up with Chanell and Monique from Keep Smiling Therapy. Now, many of you are probably saying, well, she keeps talking, she's an art therapist. What is it? So, Monique, give us information about art therapy and why it is so helpful to your therapy journey.
Well, first of all, I learned about art therapy by accident. When I went into the guidance office at my college, like the week before my graduation, I didn't know what was coming next, but I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know what job that entailed. So I learned about art therapy, looked up my program. It was history ever since. So basically what art therapy is, it's a form of psychotherapy that utilizes some portion of talking, but majority of it is encouraging self-expression through artistic measures. So that can be drawing, painting. There's so many different types of mediums. So there's clay, there's sculpture, there's all different types, but we utilize those different types of approaches to help people express what they're feeling unconsciously. So when you're going into talk therapy, you're kind of formulating what response you're going to say. With art therapy, you cannot hide how you're feeling. I am trained to read the artwork, to read the sculptures, to help you go on this journey of what you're feeling inside. Some days, and I like to tell my clients, some days you wake up happy, some days you wake up sad, some days you'll wake up happy, and then 2 hours later, you're feeling a totally different way. And then all of those emotions are one, and that doesn't have a name, right? So what do we say when somebody says, how you feeling? And you're feeling 5 different things, right? So the art is going to help you kind of express all of that. And then we journey on it together. And I always want my clients to make sure that I'm supporting them on their journey. I'm not coming to you like the expert. I'm here to just encourage you with questions and motivate you to kind of direct the path for us, because I'm side by side with you. I'm not dictating. I'm not telling you what this means or how it feels, but because of my knowledge and experience, I kind of can help you along. So that's what art therapy is, and I enjoy doing it.
Do you have a form that you like better than another type? Like, do you like well, not like, but is drawing more appealing than maybe the clay or all
It's going
around?
to depend on the client. So when you're doing a person-centered approach, it's based on everybody's different story and where they are. So when I'm creating goals for my clients or what types of directives we're going to do in session, it's based on their history, what they're dealing with presently, what are their goals, where are they trying to go to. So there is drawing. I usually start off easier with drawing because that's less intimidating, but eventually we grow into painting, we grow into sculpture, we grow into just free painting. So I find that when I don't tell them what to draw or do, that's more, that brings up the, but I'm not an artist. I'm not good at this, because you're just letting their mind just do whatever. And that is where you're going to get the emotions coming out, because it's just free, right? So music and painting, that's what's going to come out. But yes, I enjoy it all. So it's based on my clients, here to support them.
Okay, I think I need some art therapy. I have some stuff I need to let out that I've been holding. Now, Chanel, I'm sorry. It is Chanel. Yes, Chanel, like the perfume, number 5. Tell us how we can contact you. Do you take all insurances? Is there an is there a blockage? Do we need to call you to find out if, you accept our insurance?
So we accept most insurances.
Mhm.
And we actually help people understand their insurance, because a lot of people don't understand co-payments and deductibles and all of that stuff. So we accept all insurances currently. You can contact us at www.keepsmilingtherapy.com. You can contact us on social media at keepsmilingtherapy.com. And our phone number is 631-505-2961.
And where are you located?
We're located in Melville, New York, but we also do telemed as well.
Wonderful. Both of you, Monique, Chanell, give us one line that will put us in a position that we will continue to say, are you okay? Encourage the folks that's watching.
I say it to all my clients: make sure your cup is full, so that you can keep filling the cups of those around you. Everyone has somebody that depends on them. So it may sound selfish, but make sure your cup is full.
I always say your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So when you're physically, your body will let you know you're not okay. Make sure mentally you're checking in with yourself to know if you're okay or not.
Oh, you ladies are wonderful. You guys, you need to go right over there to Keep Smiling Therapy.
Yes.
Sit down and handle your business. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
For being with me this evening, being on Determined Women of Destiny. And I end every show saying, keep doing what you're doing until what you're doing gets done. Make sure you like, you share, and subscribe to the show. Until next time, good people, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
We all his queens. When they say woman, they mean God.
They be looking like, whoa, man, there goes a woman of God. They be looking like, whoa.